Well, the gauntlet has been thrown down, the challenge has been issued, and I accept. Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you don't mind, Dave, but I've nicked your pre-credit sequence idea. Only for dramatic effect. I am doing this in one take today. I've really got to get used to this because in a few weeks I am going live. I received a challenge this week from Guy, basically saying that he would love to see me do this live, probably over Christmas, for half an hour, I don't know, probably half an hour. But that was the challenge, that he wants to see me do this completely live. Now, I've never done it before. I have no idea how Facebook Live works. I'm going to have a look into it and see what happens. I'm hoping I can still use the phone that I'm currently using to record on, because the quality of it, I get the feeling, is going to be better than some crappy camcorder. But we'll see. But yeah, I accept. I'll certainly give it a shot. When it'll be, I'm not sure. It will almost certainly be over Christmas, either the week before Christmas or possibly maybe Christmas Eve. And it will be in the morning, about this sort of time, about 9, sort of 10 o'clock. So yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a go anyway, see how it pans out. As I say, I've never done it before, so I have no idea what's involved in it. I presume I'm going to have to get everything sort of written down. I mean, strictly speaking, it shouldn't be any different to what I'm doing now. The only thing is I won't be able to stop it after a few minutes and think, oh God, that was crap, I'm going to start again. I've literally got to do the whole thing in one go, which is why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it today. Normally it takes me 3 or 4 takes to get it absolutely right, but I'm not doing that. Whatever happens in the next half hour or so. So yeah, I accept, and I will do it, I promise you. So thanks for that one, Guy. Now then, what have I got here? There's going to be a new look to the videos from today. The first half is going to remain exactly the same, which is basically the roundup of what's been happening on the Facebook group, I should say, here we go, on the Facebook group, just commenting on posts and stuff like that. That bit is going to stay exactly the same. If I do run over 30 minutes, I will do the top 10 in the second 30 minutes, and also any other bits of news that I've picked up on. All the other videos are going to be completely separate. What it is, I've been looking into how everybody else does theirs, and also been going back on some of my earlier ones. And I used to do movie reviews that were sort of 5 or 6 minutes long, and they got quite good viewing figures. All I've been thinking is I've been doing these hour-long videos, and as much as I know, you know, there's a few of you out there that enjoy sort of the longer videos, but for those that aren't familiar with the group and this, that and the other, it's like I've said before, the first part of the video, the chit-chat roundup, is only really of any use to anybody that's in the group, but to anybody else it won't mean anything at all. So I think I've got that bit about right. But the videos, etc., of reviews and things like that, I'm going to try and separate them and see how that goes. So either later today or in time for next week, I'll be doing a separate review for Halloween Ends, and also any other movies that I've watched over the next week or so, but there will be separate reviews. I'll also do separate videos for what I've been buying 4K wise and all that sort of thing. All the other bits are going to be separate. I have no idea how it's going to work or how anybody's going to respond to it. You guys can let me know whether you think it's working or not. As I say, I know a lot of you like the longer format, but I can't think of anything worse than you're looking forward to one sort of specific bit and you have to trawl through an hour of me bobbling on about bits and pieces. So I'm going to give this a go and see how it works out. And as I say, if it's not working for you, just let me know and I'll go back to the old format. But I do remember looking at some of my older videos and I was getting sort of 200-300 views on some of them. So hopefully I can replicate that again, especially now I'm a bit further down the line. But we'll see how it goes. But this first half is going to be pretty much exactly the same, which is just going to be a roundup of what's been happening within the Facebook group and stuff like that. So let's start with 4K. Finally got my setup and I could not be more pleased with it. I've gone for an LG 55-inch OLED 4K TV, which is magnificent, and I've gone for a Panasonic 4K player, which cost about 340 something pound, which sounds expensive, but a lot of people told me that if you're going to get a decent OLED TV, you really do need a decent player. You don't want to skimp on the player, especially if you're going to be playing lots of sort of 4K discs. So, and I say, I could not be happier with it. The sound and the picture is just perfect. The only bits I've watched so far, and I've not watched anything complete, I tried The Shining on there, which looked beautiful, absolutely gorgeous for a movie that's over 40 years old. It looks superb. I've had a quick look at Close Encounters, again, superb. But I've not watched anything else yet. But I will get round to it. But I'll tell you what, watching the bits that I've seen, I think this TV and this 4K player is going to make watching movies a real pleasure again. Not that it wasn't before, but this will really take it to the next level. And I've already said that I will not be replacing all of my Blu-ray discs with the 4K version, only the ones that I think that will benefit from the new format. So we shall see how we go with that, because I did say exactly the same thing when I upgraded to Blu-ray from DVD, and I've now got probably more Blu-rays than I've got DVDs, and I really do need to go back to doing bin it or keep it and getting rid of some of these, because I'm starting to get overwhelmed with them. But yeah, I am really pleased with it, and I'll do a separate video later of my first 4K haul from Amazon. I've got here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 newish ones. 3 I've had for quite a while, sort of in readiness for when I got this setup sorted. But let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them are new ones. So I'll do a separate video of that later, showing you exactly what I've been buying. But yeah, I am really impressed with it. Somebody's told me something about a motion setting that I need to turn off, and I've read a lot of reviews of this. Apparently there's a setting on the TV. Is it on the TV or on the player? I don't know. It's called something like a motion setting or something like that, and it stops what you might call, well, what I've heard described as unnatural movement. When people walk across the screen, it sometimes looks as if they're floating a little bit. I can't say I've actually noticed it, but if that setting is on there, I wouldn't mind finding it and turning it off, basically on everybody else's advice. And a lot of the I've downloaded videos of the remote control for both the player and the TV, because I have no idea what I'm doing with it. This is completely new territory for me. So I'm going to be looking at those videos at some point and getting to know basically what this setup can do. So if anybody knows where this motion setting is, feel free to let me know, because I've not managed to find it yet. I've been into the settings on the TV and I can't see anything, but I could be missing it. Apparently it can be well hidden, this particular setting. So let me know if you know anything about that. As for the actual setup itself, I could not be more pleased. It's probably the best investment that I've made in a long time. The old TV is behind me. That's actually going to go somewhere in here, along with the old Blu-ray player. So I can watch stuff in here. Maybe have stuff playing in the background while I'm doing the videos. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, very, very happy. So what's been happening this week? Dave, your review of Jason Goes to Hell. Oh my God, 0 out of 5. Wow. You really don't like that one. I've only seen it once, or is it twice? I can't remember. I don't remember an awful lot about it. It's not one that I would be rushing to watch again. Is it your least favourite? Have I hit that one yet? I think I predicted this was going to be your least favourite, and at 0 out of 5, I'd be very surprised if there was anything lower than that, unless you're going to go a sort of a -1 for Jason X or the remake. Are you classing Freddy and Jason, Freddy versus Jason in this, by the way? Because it is, strictly speaking, it's kind of a Friday the 13th, isn't it? So, but yeah, I don't remember much about Jason Goes to Hell. As you say, we are now getting into the truly sort of ludicrous, stupid phase of it all. Like you, I lost interest after 6. 7 was passable, but after that, I've never seen Jason Goes to Manhattan or Takes Manhattan. Never seen that one, and I can't remember the last scene I saw. Last time I saw Jason Goes to Hell. I don't think I've seen Jason X, and I've certainly never seen Freddy versus Jason. So I really do need to catch up on those at some point. But yeah, cracking review, mate. Really enjoyed that one. Let's see now what else we got. Callie, good to see you back. Good to see you back. And that season 2 of Hunya Geeky Showing is coming back next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Random Guy doing your thing. So yeah, welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better and you've got your stuff sorted out. So yeah, it'd be good to have you back. What else have I got here? Chris, your horror-thon. I'm loving these. Jason X I've just talked about, haven't seen it. Ghost Stories, saw that a while ago. I really, really enjoyed it. Jump scares in all the right places, creepy as hell. I do remember not understanding the ending. I didn't get it. I can't remember what it was, but I do remember coming away from it thinking, I don't get that. It's a bit thick. But a good film. Saw. I've never made it through one. I've seen the original long time ago. I couldn't watch the cutting off of the ankle. I've seen little bits of the previous, or sorry, the other Saw films. Like I say, I've never made it through one. I remember one where they put a key behind somebody's eyeball. Now, as everybody knows, I can't stand anything to do with eyes, so I never got further than that, whichever one that was. And I've never really been tempted to watch them, although, saying that, I suppose that could be a challenge, Tony, at some point. Never really seen the point of them. It just seems to me, how many different ways can we figure out to destroy a human body? I don't know, maybe I'd get more out of it than I think I would, but I've never yet made it through one. So that's Saw. It Chapter 2, haven't seen it yet, and I've not seen it Chapter 1. Seen the original from 1990, the 2-part TV adaptation. I'm currently ploughing through the 44 hours worth of It, the book, Stephen King on Audible. I'm about probably halfway through it, or a bit more. And as I said before, I want to finish that off and see how it compares with the movie. But I've got to get my skates on, because Welcome to Derry is coming up next year, isn't it? That's the sequel, the prequel series, which I'm really looking forward to. And I don't know why I'm looking forward to it, because I've not seen the movies yet. But yeah, I will get onto that one. And you also put a post on about The Exorcist being released on 4K. Oh my God, 2023 is going to be a nightmare year for our wallets. You know that, don't you, Chris? Christ almighty. I will definitely be investing in that Exorcist one. Probably still stands as one of the most shocking movies I have ever seen. Its reputation preceded it when I finally got to watch it, and I was pretty much terrified by it before I'd even put it on. And it didn't disappoint, and it still stands now as one of the most powerful horror movies I think I've ever seen. Mark Kermode's all-time favourite, as everybody knows. But yeah, I will almost certainly be getting that Exorcist box set. I'm wondering whether they're going to include Exorcist 2, The Heretic, Exorcist 3, all of the Exorcist movies. That would be one hell of a box set to get on 4K. I've seen The Heretic number 2. I've seen Exorcist 3. Not beyond that though. But The Exorcist, can't wait. Loving the Christmas artwork, by the way, for the challenge Tony. That really made me laugh. So I'm going to be using that in December when I finally decide when I'm going to do it and what the hell I'm going to be talking about. I need to start planning that now and getting little bits in place so that I've got a full list of stuff like that, so that I can sit and talk to you for half an hour or an hour or whatever. I wouldn't say I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. I can't think why I actually said I'd do it, but I have done now. So I'm committed to it and I will do it. So what else? Oh, Ghostwatch. Now then, there was a documentary done about 10 years ago called Behind the Curtains. It had a limited release on DVD and Blu-ray. It was a limited edition. They all sold out and it has never been seen since. I have been trying like hell to get a copy of this. I've been all over the place, eBay, some of the news groups. I've tried everywhere to get a copy of this. I've put messages on news groups asking if anybody has got a copy that they want to sell or would be willing to copy for me or anything like that. Nothing. The best news ever this week. Behind the Curtains is coming to BFI Player on the 27th of this month. I think that's next week. I can't wait. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. It's a documentary. It's supposed to be the ultimate documentary on Ghostwatch. And for those of you that are not familiar with Ghostwatch, in 1992 the BBC broadcast a drama that was basically made to look like an outside broadcast from a haunted house on a council estate. It was billed as a drama in the Radio Times. It was announced as a drama before the programme started, and the whole country, well, a lot of the country, like myself, tuned in a few minutes after it had started and thought it was real, because it looked, for all intents and purposes, real. It was hosted by Michael Parkinson, a trusted member of the BBC. It was hosted also by Sarah Green, who was popular at the time, and her husband Mike Smith. Craig Charles was in it, so it looked like what it was supposed to be, a genuine outside broadcast. I still remember watching something on that night. I can't remember what I got on, and a mate of mine rang me up and said, "What are you watching?" And I said, "Some ropey old Hammer film on BBC Two." Why? He says, "Put the other channel on. There's a ghost thing on there. It's absolutely brilliant." This was about 10 minutes in. Turned it over, and I fell for it, hook, line and sinker. I mean, you watch it now, and yes, it does look a little bit sort of ropey and this, that and the other, but at the time, we all thought it was real. It caused such a stink. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. It's called Behind the Curtains, and it appears, or is supposed to appear on BBC BFI Player on the 27th, which I think is next month. I think even if they're charging to watch it, i.e. to rent it, I will still pay for it because I really want to see this. And hopefully now, if it's going to be on the BFI Player, a physical release won't be off the table now. So hopefully we will see either a DVD release or a Blu-ray release, which means now I will almost certainly be getting the Blu-ray release of Ghostwatch at the end of this month. I was going to leave it because I've already got it on DVD, but now that is coming to BFI on the 27th, and the possibility of a Blu-ray release is very, very strong. I can't see the point in holding off, so I probably will be ordering that. So that's that. Now then, what have I got here? Jason, I've got your card. I have to do yours on a card because you've got so much stuff going on, mate. You've been doing you've been ranking slasher movies. Friday the 13th. I'm pretty much with you on the way that you rank those, actually. The order was pretty much how I would have done it. Texas Chainsaw. I've only seen the original, I've not seen any of these sequels, prequels, origin stories or anything like that. I've always wanted to, but I've never bothered with them. Um, you watched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 10 years old. Wow. God, if I'd have seen anything like that at 10 years old, I'd have been scarred for life. Kind of explains a lot, though. Halloween. Yeah, you rank those pretty similar to how I would have done them as well. I've seen pretty much all of them. But to me, the first two will always be the best. And I said this about Friday the 13th. Um, the first two for me were the best. And if they'd have left it just at that, they'd have had some absolute classics. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They kept it going. And we've only just seen the end of Halloween. So, or have we? God knows. Um, what else we got here? Your remakes and reboots thread. Loving that still. Absolutely loving it. The Blob. Oh my God. Classic 1950s sci-fi movie. Steve McQueen in his very first acting role. I would have to say I prefer the original, but I did enjoy the sequel, which I believe starred Kevin Dillon. Was it Kevin Dillon? Matt Dillon's brother? Special effects in it was superb. They really did a good job of updating it. But given the choice between watching either one, I'd go for the original. The same with the next one, Black Christmas. I've seen one of the remakes. Didn't really like it. It didn't. I couldn't really see the point of it. The original was creepy as hell, especially the voice over the phone. Bloody hell. That was about 1974, so that must have been powerful stuff back in its day. Rabid. I think you said you found it disturbing. I'm not surprised. I saw the original Rabid a long time ago. It's one of David Cronenberg's very early films, along with Shivers. I remember those appearing on, I think it was Intervision video, which had cardboard slipcases. Do you remember those? I'll see if I can put a picture of them on later on, but I saw them on that. And Rabid was disturbing, as was Shivers. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a remake of Shivers at some point if they've redone Rabid, but I've not seen the remake of Rabid. But I did enjoy the original, even if it was a bit nasty. Texas Chainsaw, as I've said, the original all the way. I do need to take the others in at some point, but I'm in no great hurry to do that. My Bloody Valentine. I enjoyed both versions of this. I enjoyed the original immensely. I remember seeing that at Burton Odeon on a double bill with Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. Do you remember that one? Set in a fairground. So that was one hell of a double bill. But the remake was okay. I thought it was all right. Piranha. This one caused a bit of discussion, didn't it? Love the original. Seen it many times. Really enjoyed it. The remake, I think I've seen once, but I can't be sure. It could have been something else. But I bought them both on Blu-ray, Piranha 3D and Piranha 3DD. Or as I know them, what do I call them? Bites and boobies. But the original, yeah, I love the original, and I will get the other ones taken in. They're not really Tony specials. You're quite right. Let's see. I love killer animal movies or Nature Fights Back kind of things. Kingdom of the Spiders, The Swarm, Day of the Animals, Rattlers. There were so many of them. The 70s were alive with killer creature features, which I absolutely love. As for, you were talking about the Killer Tire movie. I haven't actually watched it yet. It's called Rubber. I will be watching it, especially now you've made a point of talking about it. So I will be taking a look at it. I don't know whether I'm going to think it's brilliant. I'm probably just going to be amused by it. As for the other one, the Killer Jeans, that's called Slacks. SLAXX. Or is it 3 X's? And I will watch it just for the fact that it is a completely ludicrous, ridiculous idea, and I want to see how they do it. But yeah, I can't help it. I do love these rubbish films, and I do. I enjoyed. What was the one I watched recently? I started watching one called Beaster Bunny. That's it. About like a 50-foot killer Easter bunny. I only got about 15-20 minutes into that one and I thought, oh, really? Okay, I'll come back to that one. And I never did, so I need to get back to that one. But there's just something about these movies. Every now and then, I don't watch them all the time, but every now and then I just fancy something that's just a little bit ridiculous. And those things, well, you couldn't get more ridiculous than those. So I will be coming back to those, and I will be watching them. What else have I got on here? The new threads. Jason, you're an absolute legend, mate. You've kept this one going now till the end of December. You've got one starting, I think, in November, which is Family Movies Adventures. Can't wait for that one. December, obviously, is going to be Christmas movies. And you've got a new one starting that is going to be 200 days long. Holy crap, man. What on earth is that going to be? Jason, you're an absolute legend. And, well, on behalf of the group and myself, cheers, mate, for coming up with all these things. You really do keep us all going with this stuff and keep us on our toes. It must take so long to do this stuff. I haven't got the patience for it. I don't mind doing like a week in advance, but you've gone well into next year with this. Well impressed, mate, and thanks ever so much for keeping these things going. We do love them. We absolutely do. And you're a total legend. You are. Right, I'm going to wrap this one up now at 26 minutes. I'll be back in a few seconds with Mr. Joe Raven's Top 10 soundtrack of the week and a couple of Blu-rays that I've treated myself to. So I'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Hey up you lot, welcome back to part 2. Top 10. I'm doing Mr. Joe Raven's Top 10 this week. I've worked with Joe, oh blimey, for years. We started work at the warehouse that we work at about the same time. So I've worked with him for quite a long time. Smashing guy. And he's given me his top 10 favourite movies, which I'm going to run through. I don't think these are in any particular order, so I'll just hit them as I see them on the page here. First one, Ready Player One. Now, I've never seen this. I gather it's something to do with computer games, as in somebody that finds himself in some kind of a virtual computer world. Have I got that about right? I tend to shy away from movies that are based on computer games, Resident Evil, stuff like that, Silent Hill. Never seen them. I have no desire to see them. I can't explain it. As soon as I hear that a movie's based on a computer game, it's a complete turn off and I don't bother with it. So I'm probably missing out on something there. I gather Ready Player One is a similar sort of thing, but I've not seen it, so I don't know. Next one, Gladiator. Total classic. Russell Crowe, Maximus Decimus Meridius, whatever they call it, Marcellus. Absolutely brilliant. 3 hours long. Oliver Reed's final movie before he died. Just superb. Joaquin Phoenix, is it? It's just an old-fashioned adventure drama with heaps of violence. It's one that I would like to watch again. I haven't seen it for years. I think it's the length of the movie, with it being nearly 3 hours. I always seem to think I haven't got time to watch that, but I do need to watch this one again because I really enjoyed it the first time round. Gone in 60 Seconds. This has got to be, I would imagine, the Nicolas Cage movie where isn't he challenged to steal so many cars in an hour? I remember seeing the original version of this. Yes, Joe, it's a remake, believe it or not. The original was made about 1974, and I seem to remember going to Burton Odeon to watch that on a double bill with something, but I can't remember what. But yes, it is a remake. Have I seen I can't remember. I've certainly seen the trailer to it, but whether I've seen the actual movie, I don't know. But it's one that I wouldn't mind watching, possibly on a double bill with the original. But yes, it is a remake, that one. GoldenEye. Bond. Can't go wrong. It was Pierce Brosnan's first outing as Bond. I was a little bit nervous of this one when I first went to see it. I'd got so used to Roger Moore. Timothy Dalton did a couple of absolute blinders, and I really hoped that he would have carried on with it, but he didn't. And then Pierce Brosnan took over. I only knew him from a program that he used to do called, was it Remington Steele? Which was a kind of a secret agent type of thing, or private eye type of thing, an American series. So that's all I knew him from. And I didn't think it'd work, but he did quite a few decent Bonds, and GoldenEye was one of them. It was a good one. Shawshank Redemption, complete masterpiece. Again, haven't seen it for years. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins, based on a Stephen King short story. That one, a total masterpiece. This one figures in pretty much everybody's top 10. It's usually near the top. I need to watch it again. It's very similar, as I remember, to The Green Mile. That was a prison-based drama, and that again, I think that was based on a Stephen King book. I'm sure it was. But yeah, Shawshank Redemption, complete and utter masterpiece. The Gentleman. I've never seen this. I love Guy Ritchie movies. I enjoyed Snatch. Loved Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, which had so many quotable lines. I've seen it many, many times and loved it, but I've never seen The Gentleman. I'm told I need to watch it purely, really, for Hugh Grant's performance. He plays completely out of character in this one. So yeah, I do want to watch that one. That's definitely on my watch list. Kevin and Perry Go Large. Oh, it did nothing for me. I don't know why it just didn't. It didn't hit the spot. I used to quite enjoy his series, Harry Enfield's series, which I think is where these characters originated. And I remember thinking, this is either going to be a hit or an absolutely humongous, massive miss. It just did nothing for me. I did buy it and I've still got it, but I can't honestly say I should ever watch it again. Highly unlikely. But no, that was a miss for me, that one, I'm afraid. Dead Man's Shoes. Easily one of the creepiest movies I have ever seen. Paddy Considine plays an ex-military type who comes back, I think it's a village in Yorkshire or Derbyshire, to find out why his little brother has been... Did he commit suicide or was he murdered? And he takes revenge on the people that he believes is responsible. There are so many moments in this that creep me out. I mean, really, really unnerve me. Not least of which when they opened up the suitcase and there was a guy inside it, literally folded up. Oh, it was just horrible, absolutely horrible. A brilliant film. Paddy Considine is as sinister as fuck in this. But yeah, I mean, I'd watch it again, definitely, but I would definitely shy away from that bit. But it is a truly creepy, unnerving, unsettling film. That's Dead Man's Shoes. Deadpool. Never seen it. I got a bit of flack for this the other week that I've not seen Deadpool, so I actually got a copy on Blu-ray, but I've not watched it yet. So I do need to get onto that one. It's one of those movies that as soon as you mention that you've not seen it, everybody's going to be saying, well, everybody has said, we've never seen Deadpool. How can you have not seen Deadpool? I haven't seen it. There you go. That's the end of that one. But I will be looking at it. And the last one is Snatch. The Guy Ritchie movie. Now this is Brad Pitt, Stephen Graham, Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie's regular cast from back then. Another cracking movie, which for me was made by Brad Pitt's performance as an Irish gypsy. Jesus Christ, that was so well done. How on earth he perfected that accent was just amazing. And to me, Brad Pitt was the actual star of it. I haven't seen it for a while, so it's another one that I need to catch up on. But I will be watching that one again at some point. I did actually watch a clip from it on YouTube a few nights ago, and straight away I thought I really need to watch that again. So that's going to be a must on my watch list. So that's Joe's top 10. Thanks for that, mate. Right, soundtrack of the week, and then I'm going to wrap this one up and do a few more little videos. Let's see, soundtrack of the week, Barbarella. I love this. It is a typical 60s groovy, trippy soundtrack, mostly by Bob Crewe and Charles Fox, who you will not be familiar with. But the music in that film, I mean, I love the film. I love the movie. I've loved it for ever since the first time I saw it. And word leaked out last week that they are remaking it, or it's in the pipeline for a remake. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. But it won't have a soundtrack like this. I guarantee you. This is absolutely superb. If you're a fan of the movie, I would highly recommend that you get hold of a copy of this, because I have this on in the car sometimes. Takes me straight back to 1968. I love it. So that's my soundtrack of the week, is Barbarella. So right, that's it for this segment, folks. As I say, it is taking a different form from now on. I'll be doing a video shortly on my first ever 4K haul from Amazon. I'll be doing at some point a review of Halloween Ends, and there's a couple of others that I've got that I want to do. It's just trying to make it a little bit more manageable for people. As I say, this first half is basically only for members of the group, really, because they're the only ones that will get anything out of it. But I do feel that you know, I'd probably get a wider audience if I did the reviews as a separate thing. But we'll see. Just let me know what you think of it when it's all done, sort of thing. I'll try and get all that done today, but if not, that'll be next week. But I will do my best to get at least one smaller one done today, and let's see how we go. So thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll be back again next week. If you've enjoyed the video, just give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe. That would be amazing. And I will talk to you all again next week. Have a lovely week, folks, and again, thanks for joining me. See you soon. Ta-ra.